All right, so here we are with our chain ratio question, and we're going to begin, like we do every word problem, with reading the question sentence first. So, what are we being asked to find? So, it says here, what is the ratio of math students to literature students? Cool, sounds good. So, that's the comparison that we are trying to make. Okay, everybody? The comparison that we're trying to make, one more time, is again the ratio of math students to literature students. That's what we're trying to find. So let me show you what the problem is with this change ratio question if we were to try to do that straight up. So first what I'll do is I'll just make it very clear. I want the comparison between math and literature. Perfect. So watch what we have here. Let's read this together. In a school competition, the ratio of math students to science students is 6-5. Okay, let me read that again. The ratio of math to science, not math to literature, math to science, is 6-5. Okay, cool. Let me write that down right over here. Let's just use black and I'll highlight that right there. So I'll just say again, math to science, that's going to be 6-5. Perfect. And then in the next sentence, it says, or at the other half of the sentence, it says, and the ratio of literature students to science students is 5-7. Okay, sounds good. You got to make sure, very, very sure, that you read these properly. So let me highlight this again. Ratio of literature to science, 5-7. So I'm going to write here, literature to science is 5-7. All right, there we are. There's it all written out. Now, everybody, when you look at all of this, can you remind me, what are the two items, two ideas that we're trying to compare again? Math and literature. That is correct. We want to compare math and literature. How are we supposed to do that, though? Right? How are we supposed to do that? Because if we're trying to do math to literature, this one has math, this one has literature. How do we connect the two? And here's how we're going to do it. Everybody, what is the common factor between math science and literature and science? What's the common idea between them? Not the number. I'm not asking for a number. I'm asking for the common idea. So don't look at those numbers yet. Yeah, they both have science. They both have science. What does that mean? That means if I can get the same number on science, which I don't have at the moment, let me show you this. Let me go ahead and take the literature and swap it out with science, so it's on the left side. Let me show you this, everybody. If I were to put these over each other, are the numbers for science the same? Are the numbers for science the same? They are not, everybody. They are not. So can I magically overlap these and then magically say, oh yeah, 6-5. Math to literature, 6-5. Can we magically say that? No, we can't. Because we're not comparing the same things in the same way. So let me show you how to properly get this done. In the chat box or out loud, or just, thinking to yourself, who here remembers this little idea called least common multiple? Who remembers that idea from way, way, way back in the day? I'm talking back in the days of Vietnam. Yeah, so, least common multiple. Let's go ahead and understand how we can apply that here, everybody. Let me show you how. Everybody, when we have 5 and 7, can y'all tell me what's the smallest number that 5 and 7 can both multiply to? Yeah, that's going to be 35. So let me show you something pretty neat. And again, I'm reminding you, the goal is to get these numbers to be the same. If I can get the number for science to be the same for both, we are good. So let me go ahead and write that right over here. For science, I want 35. All right, let me show the math part, copying that, and I'm going to copy the literature part over here. So let me just put literature. Perfect. So here's all I want to ask myself. Here is all I want to ask myself. For this top one here, what do I multiply 5 to get to 35, everybody? What do I multiply 5 by to get 35? 7. Let's confirm that real quick. 5 times 7, 35. Yes, that is correct. So watch what I'm going to do, everyone. I'm going to take this first ratio. I'm just going to multiply it by 7. That's all I did. That's all I did. The 5 times 7, that's going to give us the 35. Help me out, though, everybody. What is 6 times 7? What's that going to be? 6 times 7 gives us, 42. Okay, cool. Now, notice what I just did. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. But listen to me. Everybody, what do I do to 7 to get to 35? What do I multiply this 7 by to get to 35? Yeah, we multiply by 5. Let me go ahead and just wrap this up in parentheses. And I'm going to multiply these by 5. So here we go, everybody. 7 times 5, that's 35. That's good. And now over here, what's 5 times 5? Oh, yeah, that's 25. Cool. There it is. Boom. So, everybody, now that we have the same numbers for science, now can we magically bring these together? Now are we allowed to do that? Yeah, now we're allowed to. This is how a chained ratio problem baits you. It makes you think that everything's already set up for you to go. Here, it's not. You have to make sure that if you're crossing from one ratio to another ratio, that the middleman, this is what I'm going to call it, the middleman needs to be the same. One more time, everybody, write this down. If you're solving a chained ratio question, which is what this is, A to B, B to C. That's what a chained ratio is. And if we expect ourselves to solve them properly, we need to make sure that the middlemen are the same. Once we have that, we can compare. Boom, there's that 35 in the middle. And if we're trying to get our final answer, it is math to literature, which is 42 to 25. Correct answer is answer choice B. And there we go. All right, let's give this next one a try here, where the first thing we do is read that question sentence. Which of the following is the ratio representing nails to screws? So again, we want the ratio of nails to screws. And that means we're going to have to find the values representing nails and then screws. And then we'll simplify it just like a fraction. So over here, we have 45 boxes of nails, 60 boxes of screws. And so what we'll write down is the ratio of 45 for nails and then 60 over here for screws. So at this point, what I'll do is I'll write this like a fraction so I can just see this as simplifying fractions nice and easy, where I know that 45 and 60 are both divisible by 5. So even if you don't know that 15 is the biggest divisor that we have, even if we don't know that, we can still succeed here if we start with 5. Because 45 divided by 5 is 9, and then 60 divided by 5, that's going to give us 12. So we're not done because we don't see a ratio of 9 to 12. So what we can do is finish things up by simplifying again, where we divide by 3 on the top and the bottom, which is, again, if you take a look here, that's going to be the same as 15. Dividing by 5 and divided by 3, that's dividing by 15. So you can still get to that big divisor. But from here, 9 divided by 3 is 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And that's our final answer, my party people. That is a ratio of 3 to 4, not 4 to 3, because, again, the order matters. So, again, the answer here, the correct answer, is answer choice A.